If active government employees are allowed to withdraw their retirement contributions pursuant to CNMI law, the retirement fund is projected to reach depletion by March 2014. At an emergency hearing in district court today, the CNMI government agreed to hold off on paying out those refunds while settlement talks are pending. Judge Francis Tydenko-Gatewood called the hearing in part to determine whether the CNMI government was engaging in good faith in ongoing settlement talks with the plaintiffs and the retirement fund. Questions were raised after Governor Enos signed into law 1802 last March, which seeks to expedite payments of retirement refunds to active government employees. Those refunds had been authorized several months ago under an earlier version of the law, 1782, but held in abeyance pursuant to a court order issued in January when settlement talks began. Representing the plaintiff, Betty Johnson, and her class of retirees, attorney Marjorie Bronster.
Our concern was that if the government was going to be passing laws and taking actions that were going to undermine the settlement process, then we had a problem with it.
Governor Enos spent much of the hearing in the hot seat, answering a series of pointed questions raised mostly by the judge and Bronster. Ultimately, Enos told the court that the government is committed to settlement talks, and he agreed that payments of refunds should be held in abeyance until negotiations conclude.
We wanted to go in on this settlement negotiation, in good faith. If we don't do this, then the process is going to be very protracted because they're going to start addressing motions and going to the merits. But a settlement discussion would expedite matters. It may not be totally favorable to one party, but I'm sure it's going to be an area where we can all compromise on.
Now, I was really grateful that he showed up and answered questions, but I think the most exciting thing about it was that he was willing to work with us and commit to negotiating in good faith, and that was really important.
Enos also agreed that the central government will continue to remit to the fund the full $10 million appropriated for fiscal year 2013. And although no disbursements of employee refunds will be issued for the time being, the retirement fund, for its part, agreed to continue processing refund applications. The CNMI government currently owes the fund more than $300 million and has yet to pay a penny. By this Thursday, the government is expected to submit its settlement proposal to designated Judge Robert Ferris to review. So far, both the plaintiffs and the fund have submitted theirs. The court has indicated that settlement talks should address the issue of refunds. No details of any of the proposals have been made public, however.
Generally, settlement negotiations are kept confidential until you can come to a deal. And if you can't come to a deal, then you'll never know. But hopefully we will figure out whether or not there's something to talk about. I think in a couple of weeks we'll come back and talk to the judge, and we'll let her know whether we think settlement has a hope or whether we're going to be in full-on litigation.
Judge Tydenko-Gatewood set a status conference in this matter for April 19th at 8:30 a.m. If settlement talks fail, the court has about a dozen pending motions to address, including the plaintiff's request for a federal receiver to take over the fund.